So I was looking for a cheap mechanical keyboard the other day, and there were a bunch of options, but they were mostly 60 to 75%. So I thought, how small of a keyboard can I get? I found this one key keyboard, which is basically just one key, and it costed $35. It was more than every single keyboard on the Amazon listing page. Now, why is this one key keyboard that expensive? I mean, you can get like 10 buttons in 20 rupees. It's just a single button. Oh, there might be some benefits. Finally, I decided to build my own keyboard with just a button to show that cheaper is better, and also to show that you don't need an entire keyboard. Now, if you're wondering how can a single button replace a keyboard which has like 100 buttons,
go read the title, you retard.
so here's the plan. We need to build a keyboard that has one key. So we need two things. First is board and another thing is a button. We'll also add some basic stuff like a buzzer and LED just for show. And we need an Arduino as a brain of our entire keyboard.
Finally, it's time for some Tinkercad.
Okay, so our basic hardware is ready. Let's test this with some shitty little code. So here we have just a button, and when it is pressed, we light an LED. We have two LED, one which is connected in series to the button and the other one which is connected to the Arduino. Now let's simulate and see if this works. So when I am pressing the button, both the LEDs are lighting up, which means this is perfect. We'll write more complicated code later on when we actually implement the Morse code stuff. But for now, this much is more than enough and we can build our hardware now. So I went ahead and ordered all the stuff I needed. I already had a Arduino and some jumper wires. And actually the most expensive thing in my order was the shipping. It costed me 49 rupees to ship, but the second most expensive thing was like 10 pieces of buzzer. So I'll say it was pretty good. So I got my delivery and we have all the stuff now and we can start building our keyboard. So here's a montage of me struggling to build this basic circuit due to my severe lack of electronic skills. So our hardware is ready and I have uploaded the code I showed earlier. I have made some changes in that. I added a few functions to make the buzzer beep properly because this is a passive buzzer and it deals with some frequency stuff. So I added that code and now this beeps when we press the button. Okay, finally it's time to show you my super advanced, complex, 10 years ahead of its time code, which has used a language that no one has ever heard about and allow this single button to do everything that this chunky keyboard can do. So this is the C++ code of Arduino. I have this array which has all the codes for the Morse code corresponding to certain key codes. So we also have this setup function, this loop function. I think you already know that if you are into Arduino. And this push is to put everything that is being pressed into a stack, and when a certain size of stack is reached, then we clear the stack. You don't need to worry about this print stuff, we don't use this. Then we have this release key, so when a key is pressed, then we write to the buffer, and when the key is not pressed, we just clear the buffer. And this is also some code. I'll put this on GitHub if you want to take a look, but this is useless. You can just do it yourself. I'm pretty sure you can understand this on your own. But so far, this is just an Arduino connected to my computer. This is not a keyboard. This doesn't do shit. So how can we convert this regular old Arduino into a Arduino that behaves and acts like a keyboard? So I watched this YouTube video and he flashed some unknown firmware into his Arduino, and as an experienced developer who has also dabbled into cybersecurity, I did the most responsible thing. I downloaded all the files from the suspicious link and flashed the firmware onto my Arduino. So according to that video, I need to short these first two pins. Then the Arduino Uno will vanish from this ports and show up as @mega chip. So let's short these and let's see what happens. Okay, so it is showing up as Atmel USB devices. So yes, there is our Atmega 16U2. Now we can also see in our Arduino IDE that there is no board popping up here, which means that it is working. And when I open up this USB in Atmel Flip, this new LED also pops up in my Uno. Okay, now let's flash the firmware of the keyboard. After that, I'll remove the power supply and add it again. And now it should show up in our keyboards. So it should be one of these keyboard devices. I don't know which one it is, but it must be one of them. So let's test this. Let's search OptiCode on YouTube using this. Now finally, it's time to build something extraordinary, something that very few can build. Okay, so we will be building a very basic API in Node.js.
अगेन मैं
अरे यार API के अंदर
गलती प्रेस हो गई
ये अरे यार
डैम इट
अरे यार
Finally, it's done. This was super easy. I love this keyboard and would recommend that everyone should use this instead of regular keyboards.
Yeah, so this took a lot longer than I expected. I knew it will take a lot of time, but the typing was even more difficult than I imagined. I cheated a lot in this video and in the stream. A lot of stuff I copy pasted, and actually I wrote very few letters. Mostly I just copy pasted stuff, but I did type at least some of it. And also there's some bonus at least, because I also sent a happy birthday to my friend. Yeah, so this was fun. Hope you find this video funny and enjoyable. So that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.